All right, here we are on the third page of our study guide. If you need to see what the answers are, here they are. So number 14, we're going to have our slope being negative 2 over 4, or if you reduce it, negative 1 over 2. 15, you have a slope of 0, which means it better be a flat line. 16, a slope of negative 1/2. 17, a slope of 1 over 7, and 18, a slope over 3 over 4. So you can tell by the answers that the third page is all about slope. So let's take a look and see what we got. So let me blow up onto our little diagram, and we're finding slope of everything. Let me see if I can go one bigger. There we go. All right, so first thing, what should we know about slope? Well, how about the slope formula? So why don't we write this down? Slope equals y number 1 minus, actually let's go y number 2 minus y number 1 all over x number 2 minus x number 1. You might not need it right now, but that is the slope formula, and this you should have memorized. This is very important. All right, but for the first one, we're just using our graph. And if you have a graph, all you have to do is tell me how do you get from here to there. So I like to go up and down first, so I'm going to go down. So 1, 2. So I went down 2. The fact that I said down means since I went down, and I went down 2, that's going to be a negative 2. Then I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And I went over 4. So this is where I get my slope of down 2 over 4. But if you type that into your calculator, that will reduce to negative 1 over 2. Then that's being our final slope. I will give you full credit for this. You might get some extra credit if you actually reduce it. But remember, it's just because we went down 2 and over 4. So I'll put it right there, down 2, and we went over 4. So that's how you get slope from a graph. Pretty easy. All right. 15 again is slope of a line, but hey, this is pretty easy. If you have a flat line, flat means that you have a 0 slope. All right? 0 slope. That's what a flat line means. Let me make another line here. If you make a line that goes straight up and down, this is going to have a slope of undefined. So don't get the two mixed up. If it's flat, you have a slope of 0. If it's straight up and down, it's undefined. But on this test, it was flat, so your answer is that. All right, now we get to use that slope formula for number 16. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write my slope formula right here. M equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So with that being said, all right, sorry about that. Has some technical difficulties. So here's my slope formula, and here's my 2 points. So we have a 6, 0. So I'm going to call this one x and y. And this one's also an x and a y. But again, this is my first point, so let's call this 1. Call this 1. Call this my second point. Call these 2. So make sure that you always label first. Now, I'm going to use this formula, and first thing I'm going to do is put my fraction bar and my two minus signs. Now, I have my y2, which according to this is 1. My y1 is 0. Then I have my x2, which is 4, and my x1, which is 6. Now, if you type this into the calculator and you go 1 minus 0, you will get 1. If you go 4 minus 6, so type it in just like this, you'll get a negative 2. Okay? So that is our slope. Our slope is negative 1/2. Okay? Pretty easy if you remember to label. So let's try it again. Number 17. Label x1, y number 1, x number 2, y number 2. What are we going to use? We're going to use our slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so I'm going to come over here, draw my fraction bar, draw my two minus signs first. Look how big I make those. I do it on purpose. Why? Because when I do my y2, I'm going to get a negative 1. And I'm going to get a negative 2. So you see I have a minus and a negative. We got to worry about that. Then we go x2. So we're going to go 4 minus my x1, which is negative 3. All right, so again, type it in exactly how you see this. Negative 1 minus a negative 2. It's the same thing as negative 1 plus 2, but this will come out to being a 1. And in your calculator, make sure you type in 4 minus negative 3. Or remember that two tricks. If you take these two and put them into a plus sign, you have 4 plus 3 is 7. So that's my slope for number 17, 1 over 7. Okay? And then, oh, hey, we have slope again, but this time we don't have 2 points. See? 2 points. We have a line. So I'm going to give you a little hint. Use y equals mx plus b. Okay? Because if you put it in this form, the number in front of x is your slope. So, how am I going to do that? Well, there's my problem. I'm going to blow this up a little bit for you. There we go. All right, I'm going to put that y, and I'm going to line up my equal signs. mx plus b. Because if I do that, it lets me know who's on the wrong side. This x term, wrong side. So, I'm going to move them. Plus 4x. Plus 4x. Drop down the 3y. He cancels out. Do not add these. This is an x, right? This is a coefficient with a variable. This is a plane 15. So I'm just going to put my equal sign, drop down the 4x. I do not add it. That's a positive 15, go plus 15. Now, it's almost looking like my y equals mx plus b, except for I got to get rid of the coefficient 3. So I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. And then I get, so I'm dividing by 3. So I get y equals 4 over 3. It's okay to have a fraction. Plus 5. Now, is this my answer? No. What's my answer? My answer is just what's in front of the x. So my answer should be 4 over 3. So I think on the key I might have messed up. So your answer should be 4 over 3. So you can go back from number 18 and correct my mistake and put the 4 over the 3. I think I had it reversed. So my slope should be 4/3. Right? So again, use this as your guide This is an important formula, as is the slope formula. Right? So make sure that you do have everything copied down. I'll go through real slow. You can hit pause. There's some notes for flat lines and undefined. There's my slope formula again and me labeling it. Number 17 is pretty much the same thing. There's my slope formula, labeling it and plugging it in. And then the last one going into my y equals mx plus b, finding that my slope was 4/3, not 3/4. All right, so that is the third page of the study guide. So have a math-tastic time doing this and a math-tastic day.